Gloria by Patti Smith. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, I love it.
I've hear that again.
I've always been one of my favourite tracks.
And as Carl pointed out, sounds remarkably like, who did you mention?
PJ Harvey. Oh yeah, well, yeah, everyone knew that. She was obviously very influeed by her.
That's fine, that's fine.
That's alright, that's allowed.
That's cool.
I like PJ Harvey too.
Exactly.
There's enough room for two.
You're absolutely right.
Oh, here we are then.
Let's just take a moment to think about what we've done, you know.
Yeah, well, it's been good. We've enjoyed it. It's an hour and 20 minutes. We've talked about shitting yourself.
We talked about pasties.
We've done pasties.
A number of pastries, actually.
We never got the. We should learn a competition. Who's the tastiest cartoon ever?
Well, actually,
I threw up She-Terror. I threw up Jessica Rabbit.
I've had some people contribute here on the email. We've got someone here. Dom has emailed us. He's told us that for him, Daphne from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, always popular choice. And
obviously, this is one I've never quite understood. Wilma from the Flintstones. I've actually always felt that Wilma. I don't know. I just thought she was a bit.
No, not Wilma. Betty, surely.
Yeah, Betty.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Wilma. I mean, yeah, Betty, surely, but Wilma. No, I mean, she's quite homely. But Betty,
come on, Steve. You wouldn't say no to Wilma.
No, I suppose not.
If it was
I'd be worried about Fred if he found out.
I'd hate to do it, you know.
I don't want to do it to Fred. He's a good guy.
He is, isn't he? He's a bit of a chump. Whereas Barney, to be honest, I don't think he deserves Betty.
Do they both work in the quarry? Because, I mean, let's be honest, Fred, not a smart man. I mean, he also didn't come out of rock school with anything other than a couple of basic O-levels.
I know, but he's a hard-working, sound sort of guy.
They got a big house, they got like a TV, they got that bird thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, if I was Fred, I would be a little bit disappointed that my kid does nothing, whereas Barney's can lift up sort of tall buildings. Sure. Bam, bam. He's a very strong... You know.
I mean, interestingly, Fred loves his job. He's always yabba-dabba doing at the end of the day.
He does
yabba-dabba. The whole day lifting rocks from one place to another.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't take that from that cat, though.
I would.
If a cat picked me up by the scruff of the neck and put me out, right, on the doorstep, I'd go mental. I'd get rid of it. It is a saber-toothed tiger, though, Carl, so it could rip him to shreds. It's not like a normal domestic cat you have nowadays.
You know when they go to the drive-in at the beginning?
Yeah.
And they order, maybe some ribs.
Yeah,
that huge rib, and it tips the car over.
Yeah.
Was that her first day on the job? Because I've never been ordered before.
Yeah, either it's that, or
she'd have realised.
Or yeah, we're out of pig. We've got Brontosaurus rib.
Exactly.
And he goes, won't that knock the car over?
No, it won't.
I don't know.
Rick, can I tell you now? That was an accident waiting to happen.
It was really, wasn't it? Yeah.
And it did.
Oh dear. Mind you, I went to Texas once, and I had some ribs, and it was like the Flintstones. It was huge, and not only did it look too much like an animal that I couldn't actually eat it. I don't know who could eat it. I mean, seriously, it was 2 foot long.
Yeah.
And all the it was like half a rib cage. And
it's incredible. My friends lived in Texas for a while, and they once were in a kind of diner, and there was you know those kind of benches that are attached to the table itself, like a kind of picnic bench.
Yeah.
And this huge fat guy came in. He came wobbling. He ordered like this kind of everything you can eat meal, and his fat kind of sort of kind of
his big fatty fat, and his fatted on the fat table.
It wrapped itself around the table and everything. He was chowing down, and when he tried to leave, the table came up with him.
Oh no!
Imagine that.
I mean, they are fat, aren't they?
They're big people.
They're huge people. But it was that thing we were talking about before, that bloke on Jerry Springer Show who was like 80 stone, right? Now, I felt quite sorry for him. He was really sad and he was crying. It is rad, but my point is this, right? When he got to say 50 stones, didn't he go, that's too much.
That's not enough.
For a land animal.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's big, isn't it? I mean, I'm getting worried. I'm 13 stone, and I'm genuinely getting worried. I'm thinking, oh,
yeah, God. When you've got that big, when you've actually got your own mare.
yeah. When you have to get in helpers to look what the scale says.
Yeah.
Like 4 or 5 people lift up your belly and go, it's 52 stone. You go, that's too much.
Exactly.
I'm going to only have 9 breakfasts today.
When you begin to appear on the Ordnance Survey map.
yeah, exactly, yeah. When
you've got your own symbol.
It's like, we can see 2 things from space now, Fatty and Steve Merchant. We'll be landing at about... Well, no, I'm just saying at all, you're not fat, are you? You're freakish and big.
Just another quick thought. Someone's mentioned Daphne from Scooby-Doo, and but I've always had a soft spot for Velma.
Velma.
Because Velma's glasses. I mean, I'd have
She's clever.
Can I tell you what would have happened if I was in that environment? I was maybe on the...
Your glasses would have got tangled up.
I'd have always had I'd always been making a play for Daphne, right? And Velma would have fancied me, but I kind of always ignored it because I was playing for Daphne. And then when I finally realised it was never going to happen with Daphne, I'd have blown it with Velma.
Maybe not, though. Maybe not. Sometimes those, they might, appreciate honesty and go, listen, I've been hitting on the good-looking one.
Yeah.
Oi, Four Eyes.
Yeah.
Do you fancy it, Chubbs?
Exactly.
Something like that.
Let's be honest, is what you're saying.
Well, yeah.
I'm wondering, I don't mean to be libelous, but Velma, She was quite short, the glasses, the short hair.
Lesbian?
Hung around with the dog and
Lesbian?
the bloke. I'm beginning to wonder if she was... Yeah, maybe.
I was like, see, unfortunately, I said lesbian there, and you still carried on with your assessment of what it is to be a lesbian. It's bad enough doing the cliches of having short hair, but you said the dog.
Yeah, well, she hangs around with a dog.
So do lesbians do that?
Well, have you seen some lesbians? They're right dogs. Good night. You see what I've done there? You know what I've done there, Rick? Comedy award winning.